1/20/11 Sports Blog. To get this started off, NFL news. AFC Championship game, Jets versus Steelers this Sunday. NFC Championship game, Bears and Packers this Sunday as well. Tom Brady's going to have foot surgery. And that's it with the NFL news. Now on to NBA news. Melo to the Nets, no more. Polkarov tells the media that the Nets have backed out of the Melo sweepstakes, so that means the Nets and that deal, that mega deal that was supposed to happen, is not going to happen, and it seems like Melo's not going to the Nets anytime soon, like I said before. Marcus Camby joins the Blazers inactive list. That's a long list of Blazers like Brandon Roy and some other players that I really don't know that's on the Blazers. LeBron James returned to action a few nights ago from rolling his ankle from the previous video I showed you. And Chris Bosh sat out with the ankle injury as well. The game LBJ returned. Carmelo Anthony's agent went to Chicago to discuss a deal with the Bulls because the Bulls seem like they're interested in Melo as well as the Knicks, because it seems like the Knicks might have a chance at Carmelo Anthony now. And hopefully the Knicks can swoop in before the trade deadline, during the trade deadline, or the best option for the Knicks right now might be just to swoop in during free agency and try to pick him up. And around the league from last night, here we go. Phoenix heads to Cleveland, picks up a win, 106-98. Utah heads to New Jersey and picks up a loss, 103-95. Philadelphia heads to Orlando and a nail-biter picks up a loss, 98-96. Detroit heads to Boston and also on a nail-biter, 4-point nail-biter. Boston wins that, 86-82. Washington heads to Milwaukee, picks up a loss, 187. Memphis in a nail-biter, which I really can't see because this thing is acting stupid, I'm sorry. Memphis heads to New Orleans in a nail-biter, 103-102. Toronto heads to San Antonio to pick up a 9-point loss, 104-95. The Lakers head to Dallas and picks up a 9-point loss, 109-100. OKC heads to Denver to pick up a personal loss due to Melo's 32 points, 112-107. Portland heads to Sacramento to pick up a victory, 94-90. Indiana heads to Golden State to pick up a loss, 110-108. And Minnesota heads to the Staples Center to face the Clippers, 126-111 Clippers. Now I'm going to talk about the Knicks-Kings game from Friday. But first, some highlights from NBA.com.
The Knicks back in the Big Apple after splitting a 4-game West trip. The Kings there to meet them at Madison Square Friday night, where Sacktown has won the last 3 meetings. Will the real king of New York please stand up? Danilo Gallinari sitting down in this one, still injured. I'm sure if he could, he would stand up. To the highlights we go, and there's Amari Stoudemire welcoming DeMarcus Cousins to the league. 3 blocks in the first quarter. Cousins gets this one to go. The rookie showing the soft touch made it a 12-1 run for the Kings. Amari, though, on the other end, bringing the filthiness. One-hand monster jam. Sacktown still leading by 8, and there's Cousins taking it right at Amari. Misses the first one, but is able to tip it in. Later in the second, Kings on the run. Off the miss, Carl Landry doing the laundry, cleaning up there. He had 18 points in the first half. Knicks playing pretty well on the defensive end. Rodney Turiel gets the turnover. Leads to Amari Stoudemire on the other end. Hoop and the harm. Knicks ended the quarter on an 18-7 run. Second half we go. Knicks can't buy a bucket all of a sudden. Saw Amari miss, then Landry Fields, and then Tony Douglas says, I want to miss too. He's off the mark. They missed 11 shots in a row. They shot a season-low 31% in this one, but they started to wake up a little bit. Bill Walker knocks down the 3. Then it's Wilson Chandler, high percentage bucket. Sacktown's lead down to 6. Beno Udrih having himself a game. Udrih to the cup. Hoop plus the harm. He had 14 points in the fourth quarter. So nice, you gotta see it twice. Samuel Dallenberg asserting himself on the defensive end. He gets the block there. Ball off of Amari. Sacktown with a 13-point advantage. At Madison Square, Udrih, season high, 29 points for him. Kings snap a 12-game road losing streak and win their 4th in a row over the Knicks.
Now, the video doesn't mention that Tony Douglas had 21 points off the bench, and Bill Walker added 11 points also off the bench. That's a combined 32 points off the bench, plus Ronny Turiaf's 2 points. The keys for this game for the Knicks, they shot poorly. They shot 31.5% from the field, and they shot 32.1% from downtown. Again, I don't know what's wrong with the Knicks. It seems like they're getting into a little slump right now, but they need to hurry up and try to fix it. They got dominated on the boards as well. They had 49 rebounds compared to the Kings' 60 rebounds. DeMarcus Cousins for the Kings had 16 points, 10 rebounds, and Carl Landry had 15 points for the Kings. Another key for the Kings, they owned the glass, and they had 60 rebounds, like I mentioned. And that was basically it for that game. Now I'm going to talk about the Suns at Knicks game. But first, some highlights from NBA.com.
On behalf of the New York Knicks and the Phoenix Suns, I'd like to welcome everybody out to this afternoon's game. Hope you guys have a blessed MLK Day. Peace, love, and happiness.
Oh, he's feeling comfortable.
He's loving New York.
As Raymond Felton finding him there. Stoudemire had 15 in the first quarter. Should do public speaking before every game. Vince Carter to the line for his 20,000th career point. 8th active player to reach that mark, reach the 20K plateau. Stoudemire from Danilo Gallinari, that'll go. Run and gun kind of game. Carter goes baseline and the big finish.
I guess a little bit amazing is left in there.
Absolutely. Game tied at 57.
20,000 points will do that for you, Lake.
That's a good point there, sir.
Third quarter, Steve Nash to Robin Lopez.
Oh, hello.
Wow.
Well, Lopez said, I'm young enough. I don't have nowhere near 20,000 points yet.
How's that not a foul on Chandler, by the way?
No, that's a great question. Steve Nash to Carter for 3. He took 8 of them on the afternoon, knocked down 5. Here's Stoudemire. Puts it on the floor, past Lopez, and 1. Oh, there's the foul.
Yeah. Lopez said, I used to see that in practice.
Gallinari. Knicks like having him back out of the floor, spreading the floor to tie it up at 106. Nash uses the pick. He'll take the shot, and he'll bury it. Only took 7 shots on the day, hit 3 of them for 15 points, but he had 11 assists. Carter, one more time, another one of those threes. He had 29 on the afternoon. And then it's Carter to Channing Frye, who is locked and loaded. The Suns, 11 of 21 from the great beyond. Really hard to win a game. And the other team goes 11 of 21 from three-point range. And so they split that season series, 129-121. Phoenix wins it. Carter's best game of the season offensively, let alone as a Sun, as he goes for 29.
Now, the video doesn't mention that Grant Hill had 25 points, Channing Frye had 18 points, and Steve Nash had 15 points, 11 assists. For the Knicks, Chandler had 23 points, Gallo had 17 points, and Felton, even though he only had 7 points, he had 13 assists. Keys for this game for the Suns, they had everything going for them in the game. They played great defense. They played great. They executed their offense well. And basically, if you have those two going hand in hand, you're going to win the game, just like the video showed you the Suns won. The Knicks had almost everything right, with the exception of a lack of defense. Like, for example, that shot that Vince Carter got. Excuse me. For example, the shot that Vince Carter got, it was open, and Raymond Felton just stood there and looked at him. And he couldn't do anything because someone lost their man. But this ends part 1 of this sports blog, so check out part 2.